What's up, MB Stitch? Welcome. What's up, Skill Garrett? Jared, how are you, my friend? Gnarly, what's going on, dude? Stan Third TD, what's up, guys? I want to show you this project I've been working on. This isn't the project I've been working on, but I'll just show you some other random stuff. We're going to do a quick room tour, and then I want to show you what I've been working on because I need some help. So, this is if you're a first timer, this is my basement. I'm sorry, my hands are so shaky. Uh, yeah, gnarly. We're just gonna chill. We're gonna hang out for maybe I don't know 10 or 15 minutes. I'm gonna show you the new layout of my basement, and because I have some sort of New Year's resolutions that I want to start attacking as far as Lego stuff goes. It's I'm excited about it. It's gonna involve a lot more YouTube. Uh, So if you guys enjoy my YouTube channel, feel free to check that out moving forward. If you have not checked out, it's there's some dust, Jared. Let's just say that. Um, so anyway, welcome in everybody. My name is Aaron. I'm the Brick Scavenger. Let me back up. This is my Lego basement right here. I'm going to do a quick tour of the Lego basement, and then I want to show you kind of what I'm working on as far as my current project. Stanther, thank you for doing that. Go, dude. What's up, my friend? So, real quick, let me do this. Real quick. My goal in 2026, my New Year's resolution, is to do better at YouTube and share what projects I'm doing and hopefully have I've got a basement full of Lego, right? But what I really want to do is I want to have a better city display. And I want to have a train that goes all the way around the basement in a huge loop. Okay. So that's sort of what I want to do in 2026. And I'm going to document the whole project, the whole thing on YouTube. Okay. So as you come down the stairs of my basement, right, we've got tons and tons of minifigures, which eventually will be for sale on whatnot, right? And it's organized pretty well, right? Like the hats and hairs, all the yellow heads, torsos going down. We've got like superheroes a little low right now, but animals, Christmas stuff, stuff like that, right? So this is going to I don't know if it's going to grow or diminish, but whatever. It's tons of stuff. We've got tons of minifigures, so we'll be documenting some of this on YouTube as well. But just as sort of a real quick, we've got some animated CMFs right here: Simpsons, Looney Tunes, stuff like that. Over here, we've got the sort of the Disney wall. This is tons of Disney stuff right here, including some other things as you go down. Scooby Doo, SpongeBob, Ninja Turtles. This is the one of my obsessions. My here, let's hold on. Let me flip all these addresses over. That's some whatnot packages. Let's flip all that over. Hold on a second. Okay. Uh, this is my one of my army builders right here, my Anubis Guard army. I don't know how many I have now. Someday we're going to find something useful to do with those. But for now, we've got an Anubis Guard army. This is the Marvel area right here. Okay, a Marvel area. We got the DC area right here. And then this is the non animated licensed stuff. So that would be Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, NBA stuff, Jurassic Park, Seinfeld, stuff like that. Okay. So as I turn around, this is the basement, and I like this is gonna sound really stupid. I know, but I had this revelation. If you have been following my channel for a while, I've had this setup where there were displays going all along the walls, all the way around, right? And my vision was to have a train that goes all the way around. The problem with that is it's really hard to create a loop without having places where you either have to crawl under the train tracks or, break the train tracks or something. So, what I've decided to do, and again, revelation because I'm not that smart, is to have the island in the middle And then you have the walkway rather than in the middle, the walkway goes around the perimeter, right? So the walkway is around the perimeter of the thing, and all of the Lego stuff will be in the middle. Okay, that's going to allow the train to be a full loop without having to break it down. So, yeah, it sounds so obvious now that like I realize it, but obviously I was stuck on it. Anyway, so this is going to be the sort of downtown urbany area. If you haven't seen this, we've got lots of modular buildings in here, right? And I've been working pretty hard on creating like a cobblestone drive, right? With it's broken up with this like flower bed trees in the middle. We've got tons of these cherry blossoms going down the middle, and then so there's going to be a train station over here. There'll be a train stop over there. The train tracks will loop all the way around with Avengers Tower and the Daily Bugle on either side. And then as you get off the train, here's the idea: you get off the train, and you can either take the blue path or the green path. Okay, this is the blue path. The blue path will allow you to either walk along the shopping area, or you can do the river walk, and the river walk will go, something like this. Obviously, blue tile for the blue path, right? There's got to be a staircase there. Obviously, this is not done, but anyway, you can walk along the river. Or you'll be able to take, instead of the blue path, yes, I did, Nico. Well, I mean, obviously not like the modulars, but all of this stuff, yes. Not the cherry blossoms, not really. But anyway, uh, instead of the blue path, you could take the green path, which will go that way. That's going to be much more of a like a botanical feel to it. On this side, it's obviously I haven't even started it yet, other than to sort of put modulars in place. But this is going to be all like botanicals type stuff. So that'll be, I think, really fun. Some gardens to walk through, things like that. That's way down the road. But anyway, then you'll cut down here. There's actually going to be tables here so that the train track can go, smoothly through here. This is where it gets to be a little bit of a disaster, but I don't know what's going to happen here. This right now is just sort of a graveyard, maybe Ninjago stuff, things like that. But eventually, there will be some display here. That will lead into Halloween Town, which again is a graveyard. So don't judge me too hard yet. This is a project for 2026. But this will be like the Halloween Town area where we've got Joker Manor and, all sorts of fun stuff. Again, with a train stop, right? It'll turn the corner here, and this is where it's going to lead into the Winter Village, which is my current project, right? So I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show you this, but this is going to be my winter project here, or my winter village here. All right, and I'm just sort of scratching the surface on this. If I get in a little closer, we've got Stanford. It will come back. I will sort of show that in a moment. It's a little bit in shambles, but it will be back. So you've got like the shopping area up high, and then you'll be able to go down these stairs over here where you can kind of hang out on these platforms. There's a big ice skating area here. Oh, Nico, that's very sweet. I appreciate it. Big ice skating area here. I'm excited because I found these a long time ago. A really long time ago, I found all these hockey players, all of them in one shot, but I didn't ever know what to do with them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a professional hockey players versus cartoon kids hockey game. So it'll be like Millhouse and Bart Simpson and Nelson, and they're all going to be on ice skates wearing winter jackets and stuff, playing hockey against the professional hockey team. I think that'll be really fun. Over here, I just put this in. You can see that there is a little discovery buried in the ice over here in the corner. So there will be some people, chipping away at the ice to see if they can get at that mammoth right there. He's in a big block of ice at the moment. And then if you walk far enough down the shopping area, you'll get to the Alpine Lodge and you'll get to the skiing hill here. Okay. So then what going back over here, Halloween Town, the train's going to come around, right? Train's going to come around, and there'll be a train stop right here, right? And this is actually what I want to talk to you guys about. I'm looking for some inspiration on this, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But there's going to be a train station right here. The people will get off the train, walk through the train station, and then they're going to go through a little like activity booth before they can go into the Winter Village. They can stop and get I'm going to motorize the train pew pew, yes, for sure. They can stop and get some hot chocolate, and then the kids are going to be able to check to see if they're on the nice list or the naughty list. There'll be some meet and greets with some celebrities of the Winter Village, so you'll be able to stop and meet uh, DJ Elf, DJ Elf Kevy Kev right there. We'll have a reindeer petting station. We'll have some penguin exhibits. We'll have a Mrs. Claus cookies with the gingerbread, and then there's going to be like a walk down the aisle where you'll be able to go past the fairies and meet Santa. And then after that, you're going to come over here. The kids will come over here, and we're going to have elves on top of this big truck throwing gifts off of the truck down here, where kids will be down here getting their gift from Santa. From the big elves throwing off of there. What better gift can you get for Christmas than obviously, Lego? So the Lego truck is here to deliver all the gifts and stuff. The Lego truck gets an escort from these elf trucks, so it can be, nice and safe. Anyway, so that's the Winter Village. Then as you go further around, there's gonna be like an amusement park over here. I haven't quite figured out how the train's gonna go yet, but we've got like these dinosaur roller coasters here that are sort of inspired by one of the coasters is up on like a volcano, and you got to kind of walk your way up the volcano to get on the roller coaster. I got to get that fixed up, obviously, but that's going to happen eventually. And then the train's going to kind of wrap around here, and then it'll come. I think it's going to come kind of here. And I'm thinking that this area is where I'm going to do all the medieval stuff, right? So all the medieval stuff is going to be here, and I don't exactly know what that layout looks like. And then it'll go back all the way over to the modular area. Let me show you these real quick, and then then I'm going to need some inspiration. I need your help. Over here on the walls is CMF stuff. So these are all series 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to whatever. I've been bad about the recent series, but something like that anyway. This is Overflow. This is Overflow Figs, Ninjago, Castle, other. I don't even know what else is up here. Just like a lot of that kind of stuff. And then I didn't show you the Ewok Village. I can show you that in a minute. I don't build all my tables like Travis. No. But this is the Ewok army right here that eventually will come off of this wall and populate the Ewok Village. So I've had these Ewoks for a long time, but they've just been sitting here. Eventually they'll be in the Ewok Village. And then this is the Star Wars wall here. The Star Wars wall is a little out of control. We can do a more thorough tour of that sometime, probably on YouTube. But anyway, it goes all the way down there. And then over here, so this fig wall is figs that I have built on Build-A-Fig shows on Whatnot. So, if you run a Build-A-Fig show and I've built with you, these are all like inspired Build-A-Fig. Look at these guys right here. Look at those two clowns right there. Look at that. These are my Halloween trick-or-treaters right here, the good angel and the bad angel. See those two right there? Can I be your third child? Anytime, Pew Pew. You know you're welcome here. And then what's the? Oh yeah. So then this is like the Lord of the Rings stuff. This is the Lord of the Rings stuff right here. Okay. Over here is my Bricklink store. So we've got lots of stuff for Bricklink. But let's talk about what I really need your help with. Okay. Like I was saying over here for the Winter Village, my Bricklink is Brick Scavenger, same name. There's somebody that stole my name on Bricklink and called themselves Brick Scavenger with a little plus sign. Uh, but I don't have a plus sign, and I'm in Indiana. Anyway, train station, right? Train station right here. But I had this thought that it would be really fun instead of using a train station that Lego has released, to try building a mock. And I'm really not that good at mocks. So this what I'm going to show you is not meant by any stretch for me to claim this is a good mock, but I thought it would be fun. And I thought it would be fun if it was winter inspired, ice kind of inspired. So I bought two two copies of the Elsa Frozen Elsa Castle, and I figured I would just take those apart, use the parts, and see what I could build, right? So this is sort of what I've built for my train station here out of the Elsa Castle times two. All right, it's a lot of blue, it's a lot of icy stuff. Um, so let me take you just for like a very quick tour here on this thing. This is the backside where you get on the train. So we've got these chairs that you can sit in, and then I use these pieces right here to be like opening for safety to get on the train. So there's four of those right there. We'll have like figs in here, stuff like that. Um, yeah, some silver in there. So the only thing the only thing I was thinking is that it would be fun to be able to say I built it entirely out of pieces from those two Frozen sets. So there's no silver in that save for these little cups. There's no silver in there. But what I realized just this morning is that these pieces right here are like steeples in the frozen at the top of the castle. But how perfect are those to make the symbol for a train station, right? The Lego train station. So I used both of these and a circle in the middle, and it's supposed to represent, the Lego train symbol. Then I got inspired and started putting more train symbols up here, right? So that is a train symbol there. And then on the other side, same thing, there's a train symbol up there. So hopefully that gives it even more of a train feel. The other thing I'm thinking of doing is using those like ice warrior guys from Ninjago to be the guys that run the train station. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to get some of those ice guys. The ones with like the helmets that have the trans blue in it. You know what I'm talking about? So those guys could be like working at the train station, and then maybe like the CEO of the train station is the series Ice Queen or whatever she's called. Yeah, the Arctic Rescue guys, Pew Pew. I think I'm going to use to be mining for the mammoth. I think that's where those guys will go. But like same idea. They'll definitely be in here. Ice Queen battling Elsa. Yeah, for sure. That'd be fun. But here's the deal. Like I got this far, and I'm kind of like, I need more, but I'm not exactly sure what to do. And so I've got these pieces left right here. We're starting to run out of the transparent colors, as you can see. I've still got some blue in there. I've still got some white. I don't really think I'm going to use this purple and pink in there. I don't think that's going to fit the way I want. Um, so Pew Pew, if you look carefully, I sort of made steps out of some white plates to get up there. So those are supposed to kind of represent some steps up. But definitely thinking I need some more stuff around here. So if you guys have any brainstorms on that, throw them out there. Maybe I don't know about. I don't think I need steps over here necessarily. Oh, Chima polar bears. That's a good idea. But let me carry this. Oh, this is scary. This is the beauty of Mills plates, guys. You can literally carry with one hand. Uh, oh, that's probably a good idea. The we could elevate up the train symbol. That thing could get elevated some. That's a good idea. I think I will do that. So this, in theory, should fit right in there. I haven't actually done this yet. Whoops, I just broke something. But oh, that's going to have to get elevated just a little. We're going to have to move the coffee shop here a little bit. But the idea again is that the train's going to come by here and stop right here so that you can get off and on the train. Walk under the train station. Let me go over here so you can kind of see what that looks like from afar. Hey, Cub, what's up, man? Some small, yeah. So adding in some snow is a good idea. I definitely have the white for that. So you'll be able to walk kind of under the train station, exit the train station on this side, and then come kind of enjoy, the winter village. That's kind of the general idea of the thing. But it definitely feels icy, right? It definitely feels wintry, right? So I'm excited about that piece of it. I still have obviously a lot of pieces that I can add to it. I think it's way too smooth. I think you guys are pointing out some good things that snow kind of needs some mounds and stuff like that to kind of add some texture to it. So I will definitely do that to kind of make the snow feel a little bit more rolling. And I've got the white pieces for that. All of these things are going to have to shift this way a little bit. Obviously, the train station's a little bit bigger than I thought. Um, but anything else you guys can think of? I love the idea of having this thing come up and maybe even that would be give it like a seating area around it, right? Where you could almost like it's like a fountain or something. So I'm gonna definitely do that. Love that idea. We'll texture up some snow for sure. But it's fun, right? Like I'm not claiming again to be yeah, Nico. So that's what this is over here. Let's see. That's what that's what these are right here, right? For people waiting for the train on that side, right? We've got those. I thought these were fun backings, for the chairs. But in theory, you could put some benches over here for people just hanging out over here, smoking cigarettes or whatever. Uh, and then maybe something out front too. Yeah, no, that's it's a good idea. So I'm not sure what's going to go on this side. Also add random benches and light. Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, this is just the beginning, right? This is all going to have activities going on. These are not like polished at all. We're going to have some more stuff over here, a big staircase to get up to walk to the shopping area. I've got so much more wintry stuff to do that. I haven't done any like live streams for building. I generally get distracted by the chat and then like can't really build. But that's why I thought YouTube would be a good way to document it because I can like build all day and then just sort of do a one take YouTube video of the progress of the day or the progress of the week or whatever, and then document it that way. Um, but this has been really really fun to do. I'm excited about getting a huge loop for the train. It will, yeah. So that's the other reason I'm doing it, Nico. Is like my YouTube channel is not very big, and I'm okay with that. Um, but it's almost like a fun digital diary, right? Like you can go back and you can just watch the progress of all the different things that you've done and the thought processes that you've had to get to where you are now. So if you guys want to follow along with the journey, obviously feel free to either be here on Whatnot or check out the YouTube channel. We'll keep doing haul videos and stuff like that. But like I said, 2026 is going to be really all about the hopefully having a better city by the end of the year than I do, right now. I'm thinking I'm gonna like work on one section for like a week or two. I'm sorry, a month or two, and then move on to a new section because I don't want to just work on the Winter Village for months and months and months. So I'll work on the Winter Village until like the end of January or something, and then move on to something else, whether that's the amusement park or whatever. Oh, and then I didn't show you this. So this is like the parts area over here. And eventually, this is going to have to get shifted a little bit because I think this area right here is going to be a really fun place to put the Ewoks versus Islanders display, right? So this all started with like one Ewok village, which is in there, and then I started building up some trees around it, and then I bought a second Ewok village, which is in there, and then I kind of got out of control with a 6 foot Ewok display, right? But then I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun if the Ewoks lived near water? So this is going to have to go away. But the idea was there was going to be some water and maybe they live sort of with a big lake. And then the lake started becoming more and more stuff. And then I thought, what? Maybe the Ewoks have enemies on the opposite side of the lake. And that's when I started doing the Islanders thing. So I built this Islanders display, and then it became Ewoks versus Islanders. And so now I have this like giant ocean in the middle, right? And so it's Ewoks versus Islanders, and they're always like battling for control and territory, stuff like that. This I actually got from Pew Pew. I don't know if Pew Pew's still here, but this I bought from Pew Pew. And yeah, there he is. And so that is now in the in the area. We've got a couple of the or at least one of the Bricklink designer program sets in here. It's a big basement, yeah. Part of the thing, but the idea is that the Islanders will be able to go, in a canoe or whatever, go through the Skull Tunnel and then down. Remember these old base plates, these old raised base plates? We've got a few of those in here. You can see a couple of Ewoks have started venturing down this scary river here. And the Islanders are starting to keep an eye on them, wondering what they're doing. And how good does this Ninjago set fit in here? I've got two of these dragons, like, creating waterfalls. Is that part of this like creepy, eerie river thing that you do here? So here's the second one right here. And then that brings us into the Islanders area, where we've got all these old rope bridges right here, and these tiki huts. I can't really get at it because it's tucked in the corner right now, but eventually this thing's going to come out to the middle, so you'll be able to walk, hopefully 360 around it. But I made these like tiki huts for the Islanders to live in right here, like that. Now, it's important to understand that while Ewoks and Islanders don't get along really well, they have both the maturity to recognize that sometimes you need to be able to like take a break and you need to be able to just relax and get away from this warring lifestyle. So there's one place where Ewoks and Islanders have a truce. They have a treaty where there's no fighting, and that's at the Tiki Bar right there. If you go to the Tiki Bar Island, there is no fighting. Ewoks and Islanders can get along just fine. They can go to the Tiki Bar, they can drink and be merry, they can make smoothies over there. We've got like a grill out going on. And then eventually, we're going to have an area where you can hang out and swim, right? And you can use your duck floaties to swim. So eventually that's going to work there. But check this out. Sometimes when you're floating along, you don't want to have to get out of the water to get your drink, right? So look at this. We got the girls over here that will deliver you your drink, right? So you don't have to get out of your floaty. But we use the NBA spring legs so that they can actually heave your margaritas right to you, right? So like they got their like margaritas ready to go. I can't get them to hold it. See if she'll hold it. There we go. And then she can launch your margaritas out to you over there, right? So we've got the orange, and the blue tiki girls that will throw you margaritas and daiquiris out there. So anyway, that's the general idea. The only one I couldn't find was the yellow, because the yellow spring legs belong to Kobe and Shaq or something, and those are really expensive. But I think that'd probably make them look naked anyway, so I don't think I want to do that. But anyway, I have some more inspirations. How fun is this? Look at this. I'm gonna have like a couple of Islanders hanging out in this thing. Look at this, like this floaty Friends flamingo thing. I bought this set just to get this. So we'll have this thing in there, and we'll have, like, I don't know, maybe an Ewok or an Islander, uh, you know, swimming along on that thing and this thing too. Look at that thing. I know. How fun is this little set? It's perfect for what I'm trying to do. And then I'm gonna have this thing like flying out of the water somewhere. Somewhere it's gonna be like flying out of the water, and we'll have like an Ewok or an Islander riding that thing, something like that. And this thing as well will be like coming out of the water, and we'll probably have both Ewoks and Islanders fighting this scary monster somewhere out there, because he's emerged from the ocean, and he's threatening the civilization, so they're gonna have to fight him. Uh, are you going to the? I didn't know there was a Brixton minifigs in Indiana. I didn't know. I've never been. Oh yeah, the Harry Potter mer people too. That's a good idea. So anyway, that's the idea. Obviously, this is a work in progress. It's going to take forever to go through, but hopefully a lot of fun things coming in 2026. I'm excited about them. Um, so this is I'm hoping a lot of that will eventually kind of have this feel to it, where it's much denser going on. But obviously, you can imagine how long it took to build all of this, and how many like imagine how part intensive this is. It's really a lot, right? So it does. It not only takes time, it takes money, right? So I'm excited about the way this looks. I am hoping that the Winter Village eventually will look like this, but it's just going to take a massive amount of time, and I just haven't been working on it that long. When you look at, I got to like imagine this. Pew Pew and Nico can appreciate this, right? Like, so there's the Winter Village, right? But you see how elevated that is right there? That's up like 25 bricks. And then the highest level is up like, I don't know, 50 bricks, right? So imagine what's behind there. Imagine how much time it took just to elevate all of that. Look at all of this. Oh my God. There's so much elevation that happens here just trying to get that up to par. And then I also had to get the train underneath it, right? Because the train is going to be coming around here. And then it's got to go under the Winter Village to continue on. So I had to make sure the train worked under there as well. Yeah. Duplo, I know, I get it. But here's the thing, all of the stuff that you see here, I already had. I didn't buy that, right? And so, could I go out and search for Duplo and buy it and whatever? Yes, I absolutely could. But that takes time and money, right? So, if I stumble on a bunch of Duplo, I will certainly get it and use it like this, right? But I'm trying to use stuff that I have because I want to be able to save money to buy two of the frozen castles so that I can make uh make an ice train station, or be able to buy the Hogsmeade set to get into, the shopping area. stuff like that. What I'm trying to avoid the best I can is avoid spending a bunch of money on stuff that's going to be buried and hidden away. And eventually this will all be hidden away. So I hate to like spend a bunch of time and money and use that on something that you're never going to see. I assume that makes sense, right? I would much rather spend money on the flashy stuff that you're going to actually see. So, anyway, obviously there's a million strategies. And if I stumble on a bunch of Duplo, I'm going to buy it. There's no question. But like, I really like the way all this dark red looks in here. That's all masonry brick. So you can imagine how much masonry brick I had to order in order to do that. Like this is all masonry brick in here, right? All of that. So that's a massive, massive enough amount of masonry brick that I had to order to get all that done, right? Uh, and then like for example, I wanted to use this is not just transparent clear panels for this ice. This is I forgot what it's called, glitter or whatever it's opal or something, whatever it's called. But like that's not cheap either, right? Because not only do you need to get that, but you need to get that in huge bulk. And the bigger bulk you need, the more expensive it gets because Bricklink sellers know that I have this in bulk and I can charge a lot for it for stupid people like Brick Scavenger, right? So that's what you know. So that's what they do, right? Um, so I would much rather spend my money on stuff like that than on Duplo brick. Anyway, eventually, I don't know if you can see back there, we've got the Bricklink Designer Program chocolate store. That'll get eventually incorporated in there too. Um, so anyway, I appreciate a couple of tips on this. I love the idea of elevating that and having it be kind of a brick seating area around it. That's going to look way better. Making it, giving it some snowy kind of undulation in there is going to help a ton. And obviously I've got some parts to do that, plus a few more inspirations as they come along. Um, but I'm starting to run out of parts. Look at this right here. Um, yeah, so I've done the Legoland pick a brick thing. You actually pay by weight there, right? You don't pay by bag unless they've changed it recently. It's been a few years since I was there. The last time I was there, they actually charged by weight instead of by, like container size. Anyway, this is all I've got left from those Elsa castles. So hopefully I can do, I think maybe dark blue for the like the fountainy elevation area would be a good color. I might have enough of that to be able to do dark blue. Oh, Pew Pew has hookups. We may have to chat, Pew Pew. We may have to chat. Um, but anyway, if you missed the Ewok Village, I saw somebody say that they make the Ewok Village is back there, and this is the Islanders. The other thing I'm hoping to do. So one more thing, and then I got to go. One more thing. I have a plan. Okay. So I don't want every project to be this huge, right? I love doing huge projects like this, but I would like to be able to do some small projects. So I'm kind of thinking that the train through the Halloween town goes through here and then wraps into the Winter Village, right? But starting, I don't know, maybe February, whenever I kind of burn out of the Winter Village, I'm thinking of my next mock will be a small one, but I'm hoping a fun one. I have this vision of a giant rock mining area where where I have these like army of rock monsters that are mining this like giant mountain, right? So we've got tons of rock monsters. Look at all these things. Oh my god, there's so many. I've just been hoarding them. So what I'm thinking is like imagine I don't really have a blank table to help you imagine, but Like over here. Here. Yeah, I have been hoarding. Did you go, dude? I may or may not have bought like 10 or 15 more of those things from Jay Money last night. Jay Money was running a stream and he ran like 12 rock monsters all at once or some crazy thing like that. So I was like, well, so much for running a show. Oh my gosh. Um, so anyway, imagine like for the rock monsters, you've got like a big kind of rock mountain and it's hollow, right? And inside, rock monsters are doing all their mining with their pickaxes and stuff and getting gems and transparent jewels and stuff, right? Uh, and so maybe on one side, there's like a little foresty area where the rock monsters are walking to work. And then imagine on this side, the mountain is closed off, right? Except for one sort of one door or one opening in the wall. And over here, there's going to be a big forest. In the middle of the forest, there's going to be a path, and walking down the path to get to the mountain is going to be the seven dwarves. So we'll put the seven dwarves house right here. Cinderella will be like outside saying goodbye to the seven dwarves, and the seven dwarves will be like walking through the forest on their way to the rock monster mountain, and they're totally oblivious, have no idea that they're trying to go get some gems and some, jewels from a mountain which is totally inhabited by rock monsters. I think that'd be really fun. How much have I spent on tables? Oh gosh. I don't know. These tables are basically $10 a foot, something like that. So a 6-foot table is somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60 bucks, something like that. But here's what I'll tell you, I'm a little bit lucky. And the reason I'm lucky is all of these tables, or at least the majority of these tables that you see, came with me to Indiana from North Carolina. And they were a part of, I used to run a kids like summer camp. And so back in Indiana, so when we closed that camp, I ended up keeping all these tables. So I actually haven't spent as much as you think on tables because a lot of it came from my summer camps, that we did. So they're a little banged up, like they got like crayon on them and like scratch marks and hot glue and stuff like that. Like you can see these are like kind of banged up. But once they're covered up, you can't see anything anyway. Um where can you sleep? So over here. Like over here, we used to have a mattress right about here because my daughter got displaced for Thanksgiving. But I cleaned up the mattress, so it's not in the way anymore. uh, Over here's tons more fig stuff. I showed you the fig stuff at the beginning. This is tons more fig stuff. If you're a medieval fan, I've been hoarding medieval stuff as well. So like eventually we're gonna have a huge army. So over here is medieval stuff, and you can see like just for torsos, right? All these torsos that we've got. These are just like red torsos right here, right? All the torsos for building like a red army. Uh, we've got like the blue torsos, stuff like that. The greens and yellows, stuff like that. It just goes on and on, you know. Um, Over here, let's check this out over here. I'm now we're not being productive anymore, but I figured you guys would appreciate this if you're Castle fans. Check this out right here. Ready? Check this out. Look at all these Bardings. I don't even know if I can get it out without. Hold on, I'll put you down for a second. Hold on. Oh, I'm trying not to break it. Try not to break it. Hold on. Look at these. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm almost ready to show you. Hold on. I've been hoarding Bardings too. Okay, ready? All right, I've been hoarding Bardings. Look at all these Bardings, dude. Look at all these Bardings. Look at all of them. Look at so many Bardings, dude. So many. Here's more. Here's a whole nother tray of them. Look at all these, by the way. Look, look, ready? Look, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's at least 14 green dragon bardings in here. Holy cow. Look at that one. That's so sick, dude. Look at that. So someday the medieval thing will happen someday. The green barding ones, yeah, these green barding ones are like what, I don't know, 80 to $100 a piece, something like that. Assuming both clips are intact, they're really expensive. Uh Anybody need Kashyyyks? Anybody need Kashyyyks? I don't know if the Kashyyyk thing is ever gonna happen, but we've got a bazillion Kashyyyks. Who needs Kashyyyks? Look at all those. We got to get rid of these. I don't know if this is ever going to happen. Exactly, yeah. Maybe I'll just sell those when the girls go to college. That might have to be the plan because that's a little out of control. And then, how about Django? Does anybody need Djangos? Anybody need Django? Look, Djangos. That's a small army. There you go. Look at that. Holy cow! Yeah, Yeah, at least two of these were bought after a few beers. Ay, ay, ay. I saw someone say, "What do you do for a living?" Honestly, like you're looking at it. This is what I do for a living. This has been a very slow process, but as an example, let's see if I can show you. Here, look. So what I do is I buy up minifig collections like this, like piles and piles of minifigs, right? And then I spend some time to rebuild them, make fun ones, whatever, sell them off, and hopefully you have more money at the end than you did at the beginning. And then you use some of that money to, like, slowly build this, right? That's kind of what you do. This does not happen overnight. This is years and years and years of like fun, right? But there's always a couple of things in here that are super fun, and I end up keeping them and putting them on the wall, right? So I don't know what's in here, but like if you like this dude and you think he's cool, right? You just take him and you put him on the wall, right? Just like you put him on the wall, and then you sell everything else in there, and then you repeat the process, and eventually, you end up with tons and tons of figs, but it just doesn't happen overnight. I do not. So I owned a Rivendell very briefly, Pew Pew. I bought one on. So this is going to sound ridiculous, but I bought one on eBay that was used. It had all the figs in mint condition, but it was like completely destroyed. Uh, had been taken apart, parts mixed up, stuff like that, and I was like, no, I do not want to try and rebuild Rivendell out of that. Uh, but I do want the figs. So I bought that thing, right? I kept all the figs from Rivendell. I took the remaining parts. This is on the advice of Travis Bricks, actually. He said, buy it, keep all the figs because there are people out there who want to expand their Rivendell and make it even bigger. So they just want the parts for cheap, right? So I bought the thing on eBay, kept all the figs, and just put the Rivendell parts back on eBay. Sold all of the like extra parts with no promise on what was there, just as shown, no figs. Sold it, obviously paid eBay fees, and then at the end, I think I ended up paying $3 a fig for these. So I have all the Rivendell figs in basically mint condition, and I got them in the end for $3 a piece. So I thought that was pretty good, right? Because the figs will go up in value. They're fun to display. Um, and it didn't take that much work because I didn't inventory it. I just took a big pile of stuff, took a picture of it, and said, "This is, you know, part of Rivendell. I have no idea what's missing. There's no figs in here. If you want to expand your Rivendell, here you go." And somebody bought it on eBay in like an hour. So maybe I priced it too low, but whatever. $3 a fig was pretty good deal for a very little work. So I thought that was good. Um, there you go. So Rivendell maybe someday, but I don't even know where it would go. To be honest with you, I guess it would probably be the medieval area over there. But honestly, like for the most part, I'm kind of thinking I like mock building Rivendell. I mean, the the area here. This is a little bit destroyed, but what I have is like a town over here, right? That eventually, again, this is going to get cleaned up, and then there's like a river here. We'll put a bridge on it. That leads into this thing, which is like a path through the woods here. Can't really see it real well on camera, but then that leads to this area where you go up the side of the mountain here. Again, there's things are falling apart, but we've got a horse and carriage going up here, all the way up, and then this leads into the blacksmith shop. One of these is the blacksmith shop. I'm not even sure which one. Um, and then I bought more. I bought more blacksmith shops and used rebrickable. So like that's obviously not the blacksmith shop, but it was made out of the blacksmith shop parts. And so I did that like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times or something because I wanted to have the whole village to have a similar like color scheme. And so now the whole village has kind of a similar color scheme, right? Um, anyway, I know this is kind of a lot, but I'm hoping that if we have this conversation in early January next year, that this is going to look a lot more polished. It won't be done by any stretch. But in theory, you can have a train that wraps most of the way around the room and goes through like Halloween Town. Even if Halloween Town's not completely polished, at least you've got sort of the general layout of Halloween Town, where the train's going to go, and then over here into the amusement park. And again, not completely polished, but hopefully you'll have the general idea. It'll look a lot cleaner. Whether or not a train can actually do a full loop in 2026 is TBD, but that's the general idea. Because we're going to have to get tables to go all in here to complete the island, right? And then it'll wrap all the way back around here and go to the modular area, stuff like that. uh, you know, Something like that. But this is just going to take, massive amounts of work, massive amounts of time, massive amounts of money. So we'll be running whatnot shows to fund some of this. But honestly, if you guys think this is fun and you want to follow along with this journey, I would really, really, here, let me switch. I would really, really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to my YouTube channel because we're going to be documenting this all on YouTube. YouTube costs you guys nothing, but the more subscribers I have, the more YouTube pushes my videos out to other people, right? And so that would be hugely helpful. Again, costs you nothing. And if you want to watch the progress with, this as it develops weekly or whatever, that would be so helpful to me. And you can come say hi on whatnot, but I'm really not, going to ask you guys for money. That's not the way I want to do it. I want to share this with you guys. And the more people that are hanging out on YouTube, in theory, I don't make much money on YouTube. I make a little, but the bigger it gets, the more we can kind of fund some of these projects. You know what I mean? And then the more videos we can do. So I would really appreciate that. That'd be awesome. So anyway, anything else that you guys wanted to see or you came in late and you didn't get a good look at before we oh, let me show you this real quick. I know you guys have seen this. If you've been with me long enough, if you've been with me long enough, you've seen this. But this may be my most exciting find ever. Pew Pew, you got to tell me if you guys have this in the store. Nico, you got to tell me if you guys have this in the store. Yeah, Banjo, I'll show it in just a second. Uh, My first ever Lego haul on Facebook Marketplace had tons and tons of Star Wars sets in it, old Star Wars sets in it. I put them all back together and then found a whole bunch of like tan and brown parts left. I had no idea what it was. And at that time I wasn't really like into Lego that much, so didn't even really understand what Bricklink was or anything like that. Anyway, I found some stuff on Bricklink. Look what it turned out to be. Look at it. Look at what it turned out to be. Look at that. Oh my God. That is the Wright brothers plane. I would take it down and show it to you guys, but the whole thing would fall apart. It is like the most fragile build ever. Oh my God. I'll try to go up higher. Let's see. Now I can't really get you a good look at it. But that is the Wright brothers plane. It's old brown, so obviously it's like really brittle. It's put together with freaking like the weakest connection points ever. So it's just so fragile. But what a find that was. Holy moly. I was really excited about that one. And then one more story. One more story. So right before I moved to Indiana, right before I moved to Indiana, I was on Facebook Marketplace. There was a kid going to college that was just trying to raise like some beer money or whatever, right? He's like, I've got these 3 sets that I'm selling for $100. $100 for all 3 combined. Literally $100. And I about peed myself. I jumped in the car, almost got 3 speeding tickets on the way to get to this guy because I didn't want to get beat to it. One of them turned out to be the Orthanc Tower, right? No figs at all, but the Orthanc Tower. That was one of the 3. So I made it in time. I got all 3 of these sets. I ended up selling the Orthanc Tower for, I can't remember what, enough to like cover all the 100 plus. And I got to keep the other 2 sets for free. Pew Pew, do you know what those other 2 sets are? Check this out, dude. Check this out. Oh my God. Holy cow, dude. Look at that. So I basically got these 2 for the price of inventorying the Orthanc Tower. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? That guy sold me Orthanc Tower and both of the pirate ships for $100. Oh my God. No figs, but I didn't care, obviously. It's still a ridiculous deal. Since then, I've put some figs back in there, of course. Yeah, he just wanted some beer, man. He was like, let's get some beer. Oh my gosh. This was years ago, but still. Wicked, wicked find. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at this beauty. I got this from my friend Monarch on Whatnot. If you guys aren't following Monarch, you should be. That's a beauty. I got this from some people who no longer sell on Whatnot. Oh, you're dusty. Oh my gosh. But I got this from some people, some good buddies on Whatnot who no longer sell on Whatnot. So that's very fun. I can't remember where I got the red dragon from. Oh, he's falling. Don't fall. Don't fall. Hold on. Sorry, he's falling. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Well, we're gonna have to work on that later. I can't do it with one hand. This red dragon, I can't remember where I got that red dragon from. But these are things that are just kind of, oh, Pew Pew, I got this from you too. Look, Pew Pew, Pew Pew, you got all my money, dude. Pew Pew's got all my money. Pew Pew, look, I got this from you too, dude. You're broke? Yeah, well, me too, because you keep taking all my money and then spending it on beer or something. I don't know. But yeah, I got the original Ghost from Pew Pew as well. Let's see, what else do we got up here I could show you? Since we just got stuff everywhere. Oh, my newest army. Let's look at my newest army. Here, I'm going to show you my newest army. Ready? Look. Ready? Here's my newest army. I've decided I need a new army, so look at my new army. My new army. Look. Look at all my new army. My ostrich army. Oh my gosh, how many ostriches do we have now? Love these ostriches. We love these ostriches. Oh my gosh. What's funny is like if you happen to like buy up collections at all, you've probably had the experience of finding like this, right? Because the stupid heads always fall off and get lost. And so the value of the ostrich is, I don't know, 15 to 20 bucks a piece, something like that. And it's like $1 for this and $19 for the head. It's ridiculous the way that works because the heads always get lost. It's crazy. Oh my gosh. Anyway, there you go. There you go. We got a couple of rock monsters hanging out over here to add to the army. But there you go. Oh my gosh. So there's stuff everywhere. I got to get organized as usual, but you guys got the idea. Okay. That was way longer. That was way longer than I was planning on being on, but I appreciate you guys hanging out. So we'll do some updates, but please, please, please join me on YouTube to follow along. It would really help my channel out, and we'll be able to update you guys on all the things happening. I love you guys. Let's do a raid. Hang out. Let's do a raid. Let's go raid into somebody. Who can we raid into? Let's see. Who do I recognize on here that we raid into? How about Bricks for Potterheads? Let's do that. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for being here.